Hi, my name is Jay Marina Nueva, and I'm going to talk about how I became an LPN. Well, first of all, I was born in Cuba, and I came to this country when I was 8 years old. When I got here, I went to elementary school. I went through a lot of difficulties to learn English, and it wasn't easy for me, either my family. Later on, I went to school for middle school, then to high school, and then when I was in high school, I really had no idea what I was actually going to do. Later on, I got out of high school, and my mom always wanted me to do something in the medical field, but at the beginning I didn't like it, but then I actually started liking it until I found out that there was this LPN program, and I actually got into it. So I got into nursing school. I had to take this really hard exam, which I actually passed it. I got into the LPN program, and it was really hard. The test that I had to take was actually pretty hard, but I studied a lot for it, and I took it and I passed it. I didn't do the greatest score of all, but I passed it. After that, they had to do an interview for me in order to get into the LPN program. And their interview was basically pretty much asking why you wanted to be a nurse and let them know all the reasons why you wanted to be a nurse. So once you passed that, you were actually in the program. I actually passed the interview and I got into the program. The program was really hard, but I did it. It was the clinicals. We had to do a lot of tests for a lot of different classes. For each class we had different tests. And the clinicals, we got to do different stuff, experience in the emergency situations. I got to see surgeries. I got to see women giving birth. It was pretty interesting how I saw everything. And after I graduated in December. I had to study a lot for the NCLEX exam, which is the board exam for the state. And once I do that board exam, I could actually work with the license. So my goal was to actually become an RN after. So I was like, let me do this so I can keep on with the classes after. So I studied really hard for this exam too for 3 months. I went, I took it, I passed it, and I started working as an LPN doing patients. I do wound care, I do insulin, I do suctioning, I do hospice too. I also work for the Vitas company, which is for hospice, long-term care patients. But I would actually like to work as an RN. That's why I'm doing my classes now for later on become an RN. And actually my future goal would be to become a nurse practitioner, which is like the doctor. So I can actually prescribe and pretty do much anything a doctor does. So yeah, being a nurse was pretty much not as easy as I thought it would be. I remember once I had an experience in one of the hospitals. I was right in front of a surgery, and everything was good. I actually saw a couple of surgeries and nothing actually happened to me. It was a lot of blood what I was seeing in front of me, but I didn't really feel dizzy or anything. And I saw pretty major surgeries like knee surgeries, eye surgeries, foot surgeries. So, I mean, it was pretty bad. But once I actually saw when they were taking out a little mass a person had in their arm, which was really nothing. And really they started cutting really, really hard, and the smell of it just it almost made me faint. And I was like, oh, I'm not ready to do this. But then I actually went through that situation, which was pretty much nothing. It was just a feeling that I felt like that, but I guess it was just a natural feeling of learning to do those things. So I actually went through that, and after that I was able to see birth, and C-sections was that was a pretty great experience. When I saw a C-section for the first time, seeing a baby coming to the world, those things really motivate you to be a nurse. You sometimes think you can't do it, but then when you see those things happening in your life, it's what you really want to help people. And especially elderly people. I work a lot with elderly people. A lot of those people really don't have anyone to take care of them. And it's not just about going to do a wound care on them. is, taking care of them. A lot don't have families, so that little half an hour you're there with them is a lot to them. It means a lot to them. You take care of them, you feed them, you help them in any kind of way you can. So it's not just about, becoming a nurse, studying. You have to like this job. You need to like it, because if you don't like it, then the situation is not the same.